Hey, everybody, and welcome to the podcast. Before we get into the show, I just want to let you know about our sponsor. It's a film called Sir John A. and the Curse of the Anti-Quenched. It's a fun comedy. It stars John Dunsworth from Trailer Park Boys, Spenny from Kenny vs. Spenny, and the Diener from Fubar. It's about two brothers that save their city from demons by staying drunk. You can get it on Vimeo On Demand right now for only $2.99 or stream it on Amazon Prime. Check out curseoftheantiquenched.com. All right, we are back with a 10-minute review of Wanda Vision. I'm super excited about this show, and I've been loving it so far. I'm going to start our 10-minute timer right now. It is spoilers heavy for the first 3 episodes. Matt, what have you been thinking of Wanda Vision?
So when it first started, I knew what I was getting myself into. I think a lot of bad reviews or people just, I don't know what they were expecting. But I don't know, if you set yourself for it, you're okay. I knew what I knew what I was getting myself into, but still the first episode, I don't know, some of the the jokes just weren't landing right, and it is, for all intents and purposes, it is just a sitcom. There's barely anything revolving around the outside of what's happening, right? Except for that dinner scene, just slightly, it pretty much is just the sitcom of very much I Love Lucy and Dick Van Dyke type of homage.
Yeah, I Dream
so
of
the
Jeannie.
first episode, I was okay. Especially the end, you're okay. But I am glad that they gave us 2 episodes to really just, especially, I really enjoyed the second one. I don't know how you felt about the first one, though. Let's discuss that one first, and then we can move on for the next one.
Yeah, look, I too knew what we were getting into, and I was kind of oh, okay, so, when is it going to be revealed, that there's something strange going on? To be honest, I loved the gag of it. Because your mind is going the whole time. You're like, what is this?
What is going on?
What's going on?
Then that dinner scene happens. You're like, okay.
Yeah. See,
but
right at the start of that one, which I still have a theory that some of this may be going on in her head. It's a coping mechanism for her for having to kill Vision at the end of...
Well, that's what the speculations was prior to the show. I could be wrong, but then they also mentioned that it's all supposed to take place in her head. But as we'll get to it at that point. But yeah, the first one's very slow. It's definitely a slower show, but you know what? It's the perfect place to have a show like this on Disney Plus because it's free. Well, it's not free, but you know what I mean? You can just watch it from home and it's part of your package. Episode 2, I really enjoyed episode 2.
Same.
That's when I was oh yeah. From the Bewitched feel to it, which I love. I grew up watching Bewitched. We had this giant satellite dish. We get the old school.
Yes,
so after school, I'd watch Bewitched and what is it? I Dream of Jeannie.
Gilligan's Island.
Never watched. Really got into those. It was mostly
Get
just
Smart?
Bewitched and no, just
Smart?
Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie. That's what played after school, and that's what I would watch. But so I really got into that episode. I actually liked the episode, the whole magic show, and he's stuck with gum. I actually enjoyed the episode itself, the sitcom of it. But of course, there's a little bit more, right? They're giving us a little bit more with the radio, and there's a lot of more underlying. Especially the ending was ooh, whoa, what's happening here?
Yeah, exactly.
This was really good, and so I really enjoyed episode 2. But I had a feeling, because a lot of people were oh, I don't know if I want to watch it. And I told them, you know what? Probably just wait till episode 3 comes out, then watch it. And I was right, on my speculations of episode 3. Episode 3 is really, really good.
We move into the Brady Bunch era.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're in the Brady Bunch, very heavily influenced by the Brady Bunch. And I really enjoyed episode 3.
So do you notice when stuff went weird, when stuff's happening that she doesn't like, it switches back and it's not happening anymore?
Yeah,
it feels
she reversed
she's
it.
in control.
She reversed
in some way.
When the bee guy shows up, right? She's nope. Then it backs it up, and then in episode 3, right, when Vision starts talking about, like, he starts noticing things. All of a sudden, it just like, it's like a weird cut. Obviously, it's her playing with it, right? She's like, nope. But like, I liked that. It's just like, they just played it off like, it's just like, no, it's just a cut, and we're back to like moving on. But no, episode 3 was fantastic. Is it? I had heard it's only going to be a 6-episode like series so far.
That's interesting.
I could be wrong.
So
Someone mentioned that, but I don't know if that's true.
But I do know they're spending roughly $25 million an episode. So like,
are you serious?
Yeah. So
Jesus.
I'm like, I assume it's because the two of them are worth so much money now. You know?
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, as the show goes on, because we're in the 70s now, right? We got the 50s, we got the 60s, we're in the 70s. I'm hoping for Married with Children for the 80s. I mean, it just fits. It just fits, right? Like fun. The kids, I want to see she's got red hair. Like, it just fits. You got to do Married with Children.
I thought they were gonna, because Full House also started in the 80s. I thought they might do that because of the connection with her sisters. You know. I thought they might.
I mean, they've always like mixed some of the shows too, but I will say I think Full House is more of a '90s like. Yeah, no. Like in terms of right, because they both blend into the '90s. Married,
but if they're gonna do the '90s, they're gonna probably try and do Friends.
You think?
Yeah, I think it's.
I haven't seen the trailer. I don't remember the trailer at all, so I have no idea.
I try to avoid it. I don't want to see anything. Like, I want to be surprised.
Same. So I have a feeling it's probably right. We're going to the 80s, the 90s. It feels like the 80s, 90s, and today. Like, but of course, like Mandalorian, right? Like, I don't know. They're taking their time, and it's fine with it.
Yeah.
But the last 3 episodes are probably just gonna be like boom, 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 boom. As we're seeing with the escalation of the first one, slow, little bit of mention. Second one, you're like, okay, all right, things are happening. The third one, you're like, holy crap, some shit is happening. She got thrown out. Like, vans are coming in, and you're like, okay. So, from my understanding, what I think is happening is she's controlling, like, she's doing the controlling, I think, right? Like, I don't know who Sword is. Like, I don't know Sword pertaining to the comics. All I know is I know the logo and it's being Sword, but I have no idea what Sword is. I think it might be like the villains to Shield, or they might be part of Shield, right? Sword and Shield. I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. So I don't know if it's the bad guys controlling her, or if it's the good guys making sure she's like, you know, like they don't break her, or she causes like, you know, World War III. Something. It's got something to do with her containment, right? Like she's definitely unstable.
I'll tell you exactly what it is. So it's not the first time it's shown up in the MCU. It's the Sentient Weapon Observation and Response Division. Short form is
where's Sword come from?
It first has shown up in the post-credit scene of Spider-Man Far From Home when Nick Fury's and a group of Skrulls operate out of a space station reminiscent of the Sword base.
Oh, man, I don't remember that at all.
So, because, like, here's another theory, that these people in this town are Skrulls.
Oh.
Right?
Interesting. I did not see that aspect of it.
Or they're trying to contain her. Like, maybe she's had, like, some type of psychotic
That's what
break.
I thought. Like, it was some sort of containment because she had, like, a breakdown. Like, in order to pretty much, like, make sure she doesn't, you know, blow up.
Yeah, because, like...
They've had to, like, create this thing. Obviously, she knows, but subconsciously, and I think that's where the lady, I forget her name, comes in at the end, just maybe trying to bring something out of her, right? To be like... Hey, listen, like your brother died because of this. Like she's trying to bring her back to reality. Yeah. I guess that's how I kind of got out of it. And then of course she just kicked her right out. So there's some form of control from, at least she was able to throw her out. So there's some form of control. There's definitely scared of Wanda, but I'm very excited to where the show is going.
So like let's just say like a SHIELD type organization is trying to do this to her, but outside of the approval of the Avengers, let's say.
Maybe.
And then like they like that kind of maybe explains the radio and you know
and they're kind of
the
hiding
Stark
her
little helicopter,
like,
you know? And like,
so yeah, it feels like some sort of containment, either for her own good or their own like personal gain. Somewhere, somehow, there's a containment of her mind, and
Yeah.
especially when she's saying nope and reversing it, like that's definitely her playing with these things. But
Yeah.
something is bleeding through. We don't know what it is, and as we've kind of stayed away from trailers, we have no idea.
Yeah.
So just pretty much going upon
Well,
that, and
essentially,
I'm
like,
definitely going to go back and watch that Far From Home teaser
Yeah.
because it's been so long.
so we definitely know for sure we're gonna hit our 10 minutes here, but we definitely know for sure like the series is taking place in after the snap or in and around the snap because of all the vehicles that show up right after, right?
I mean,
And we
if
hit
you
our
go
10
by
minute
that
timer.
logic, you know, there's things like Fast and Furious 3 takes place after like a bunch of other things, but they've got old ass cars, so don't really go by that. But
Well, fair enough.
I have a feeling it's definitely post snap. It would make sense. I don't know. I don't think it would. I don't think it would make sense after like prior to that. But then again, right?
Yeah.
The Skrulls have been there since the 90s, so who knows?
Yeah. Okay, I will. One last thing I want to bring up: all the ads in the show. So,
Oh, I love those, and apparently they're very.
episode one.
Is it the toaster
episode
one?
one? Yeah, we get a Stark Industries toaster,
Stark Industry
Toastmate
toaster.
2000, and then episode 2 we get a Strucker watches. So Baron von Strucker, as we know, is the
Red
Hydra
Baron?
scientist that created her and her brother, and then
That's right.
then in the
Red
third
Baron,
one, there's a Hydra soaked bath powder. So
Was it
it's-
Hydra?
Yeah.
I missed
So,
that. I missed the like I was looking for it, and it was right in front of me, and I completely missed it. How about that?
Who do you think is on the radio? This is the last thing. Sorry, it's definitely the
I
last
thought
thing
it was
I'll
just
bring
kind
up.
of information bleeding through.
Like the Wanda who's doing this to you.
Huh?
It says Wanda who's doing this to you.
It says Wanda is doing this to you?
Who's doing this to you?
Oh, who is doing this to you?
Yeah. So that again makes me believe like maybe like this sword organization is holding her against her
Manipulating
will,
her.
or just like how Shield used to operate before Cap infiltrated it because it was Hydra, and it's like
true.
They're just being like it's Nick Fury doing Nick Fury stuff, and it's like no, she's out of her mind. We can't we have to contain her. Sort of like like at the end in what is it, the X-Men. Like the Old Man Logan movie, how like they have to hide Professor X because he's losing his mind and he may just murder everyone by accident.
Well, I mean, Shield has always tried to contain the dangerous ones, right? They built that thing for Hulk to contain him. Like, right? It's always been about the dangerous ones. There's always a contingency plan. So, could this have been a like a contingency for Scarlet Witch, like prior to the snap, right? Like this could have been like this is what happens in case of anything, right? Like we've got this whole thing planned out.
Yeah.
Who knows? But like I'm liking where it's going so far, and I will say I don't know. I haven't checked the recent reviews, but I can understand where people were coming from in the first episode and then the second episode. But I'm like, there's a few people that haven't watched it yet, and I was like, no, watch it now. Like now is the great time to go because you've got 3 episodes to go through, but just having the first was fine for me. Like I was into it. Like I wanted to see the next one after. But just seeing one, and a lot of people are like, I just watched 10 minutes. I wasn't really into it. It's like, dude, why?
Yeah.
Give him a bigger chance than 10 minutes. Like I get it's black and white, and a lot of people are very much against black and white these days. But come on.
I'll ask you.
Like I know you're very like Marvel movies have to have action in it, but like that's the point. It's different.
No, this is better. I want to get comfortable in the Marvel universe. I want more of the bar scene, the hangout scene.
Exactly. That's one of my favorite scenes. Just
the
them
cabin,
trying to lift the hammer, just hanging out.
Hawkeye's
chilling.
cabin where they're just hanging out and they're talking. I'm like, give me more of that.
Give me more of that Captain America breaking logs with his bare hands.
Right? Do you think it'll connect to the Winter Soldier
multiverse?
and that?
Oh, I don't
for
know
that
if it'll
series?
connect to that but it's like I'm pretty sure they confirmed it's definitely connected to the Doctor Strange.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've already confirmed that. Like it's connected to. I mean, it's definitely connected in terms of a lot of things, but I think there's.
Imagine he showed up at the end.
I have a feeling we're in for a hell of a treat. As the show keeps going, it keeps getting better.
That's why
the show feels like the Mission Impossible movies. They just keep getting better.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know how, but they just do.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up there. We're gonna be back if it's only 6 episodes. We'll be back to wrap up the series.
I could be wrong though. Like, I thought I saw it was only gonna be 6 episodes. I mean, I don't want it to be. I want it to be a little bit longer. But odds are it's probably gonna be max 8. But I could have sworn I saw 6.
I actually don't know. I'm looking on the Wikipedia right now, and I can't tell based off this. But yeah, I've been loving it so far. I can't wait to watch more of it. Like, I'm excited for Friday when this comes out.
Absolutely.
I'm loving it so far, and I love that we get more MCU. Like, as soon as I saw the comic book thing coming across and the music,
it feels like forever. Like we were full of we were full blown, like Marvel was taking over everything, right? Remember, like Marvel this, Marvel that, Marvel this, right? It almost oversaturated the market. And like, I think a few people are like a little tired of it, but at the same time, it's like, dude, but it's been like a year. I mean, it feels like way longer, but it's like we haven't had some in a while. Because
like Spider-Man, it took a while. Like Spider-Man came out like how long
come out? Last year?
That was the last MCU movie because we were supposed to have
2019 summer 2019. I think
we were supposed to have the
Black Widow
movie, but they've pushed that. So.
That was another thing. I don't know if that kind of messed with their timeline because Marvel's very specific in terms of what releasing when. And if Black Widow is supposed to come out before, I mean, I feel like it's not going to matter much, but I don't know, maybe. Like, they do have plans in that regards of the release order. So, I guess it wasn't that important if they didn't want to release it, so.
Well, like, one more point on Sword, but apparently it's something they just got back through the Fox deal. Because they wanted to bring Sword back in the Thor movie in like a post-credit scene.
Who owns Sword?
20th Century Fox.
From which series? The like X-Men series?
I think it was honestly just one of those things that Marvel had given away a long time ago.
Oh, like they thought they could make something out of it, kind of thing, and probably just never kind of came out.
Yeah, and then I don't think they've used it in anything else. And then now that Disney owns Fox, so it all comes back somehow. So,
dude, like a lot of people are like, oh well, you know. I mean, let's be honest. The Infinity Saga was amazing, and I think if done right, whatever we're going to see now is going to be so. Especially with the purchase of Fox.
Yeah, we're going to get Fantastic Four. We're going to
really cool stuff.
We're going to get the X-Men. I think they're going to
especially with Disney Plus and series coming out, like these all connected series. I don't know. I think I'm super excited to where this is going.
But yeah, if they did these like in between series, like to bring you to like, you know,
I think that's what they're going to do.
Like
obviously they've got their big ones, but honestly, like I will say though, I think COVID as well, like streaming has kind of become the big thing that I have a feeling what could have been films before. Obviously, nothing that's been announced. I think those are all films, but whatever they thought could be films before might move into TV format. I mean, let's be honest. Let's bring in Taika Waititi to make a Thor in New Zealand series. Okay, that's what we all want.
Right.
Okay. Right. Have you seen those shorts?
No. Have they been made? Like,
you've never seen those?
So wait, is it like actual Chris Hemsworth?
There's a legit. Yeah, you've never seen those?
No.
You gotta watch those.
Okay, you gotta send me those after and we're stopping the podcast so I can watch them.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's essentially like he made with Thor Ragnarok, but prior to that, he made these like Thor and then living with this guy in New Zealand. Like he's just like a roommate.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I did see those.
Yeah,
I didn't know
like,
that was
there's
Taiki
like 3
Waititi
or
that
4
made
of
them.
Like there's one at one point where he's with Jeff Goldblum, like the Grand Master and stuff.
Okay, I think I did see one of those, but yeah.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 of those.
Oh man, that's the best.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah. That would be great. It would be great.
That would be amazing. Like, it doesn't have to be anything related at all to the movies. I mean, it can be, but, like, you don't even have to. That's the great part of the show, right? Like, just piss off Ghost.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us know what you've been thinking of WandaVision on the interwebs. And, yeah, we look forward to finishing up this series and talking more about it. We may go even longer on the next one, like we did with
See you in like,
Mando.
What, 3 weeks?
3 weeks, yeah. Perfect. All right. Again, thanks for listening, folks, and we'll be back soon with something great.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Lost Commentary, on Instagram at Raiders of the Lost Commentary, and like us on Facebook.
I'll be back.